Hello, welcome to Pound for Pound, the #1 boxing podcast sponsored by Premier Punt with me, Jay Wood, and
It's that Spencer Oliver.
how are you, Spencer Oliver?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, I'm good, mate. I'm really good.
Listen, I've got to mention as well, did you see on the Twitter we had a couple of what?
Brilliant.
One guy in McDonald's, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Did you see that?
Yeah.
So we need to send him a signed glove.
Yeah, we'll
We need
do
to
that.
sort out. And there was another really cute one. See the guy with his kids
That were off sick.
shouting out? Yeah.
Yeah.
He took the day off to look after him, didn't he? So.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was really good. I've seen that. We got a really good response from that, didn't we? So we'll send a couple of gloves out to those.
Yeah, so this is, he goes by the name of Lukey Minch. Here we go. And this is him giving the old...
That deserves a glove all day.
So cute. Luke, thanks for that, mate. And we'll get a glove out to Luke as well, shall we?
Yeah, we get a glove out to Luke as well, definitely.
Where was the other one who shouted out? I'll find that.
Right, so there was another one on there as well.
We'll find that. How you been? All right?
Yeah, really good, mate. You?
Not bad. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, just quickly. Wayne Allett. He was in McDonald's. Let me give it a... Here we go. Wayne Allett. Here we go.
What's it? That was McDonald's. There you go.
So
Brilliant.
yeah, he reckons he didn't set that up, and it didn't look like he set it up. So Wayne Allett, well done, mate. You've won yourself a signed glove.
Yep, them gloves will be on to you
So listen,
guys soon.
yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah.
Keep the old what's it?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Basically, shout it out, tape yourself doing it, and if you get a response from someone, you win a signed glove. Let's keep it rolling. Shall we?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think we need to start. I think we need to just keep these competitions rolling, whether it's Bawatsi, we'll work it out, but as the weeks go. But there's plenty of gloves to give away anyway.
Oh, good. You wanted to hear about the chickens, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I said, look, Jake said, look, we was writing out the show earlier on. You know, we was writing out the format and the structure of the show.
Because it has got a structure, this show, believe it or not.
Yeah, believe it or not, it has.
Fucking hell.
We spent a good 10 minutes on it.
Oh, listen, we've got Carl Froch back this week as well.
Yes.
Froch's Facts.
Froch's Facts.
Fascinating facts. Now, listen, we haven't had him on for a couple of weeks. We've had complaints. But basically, Carl's been away and we ran out of facts, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So we taped a whole year of facts.
Yeah.
And then we fucking ran out of facts. And now we've come back and we've recorded another 6 months worth.
Yeah, we've done it.
Mate, we've got some good facts.
We've got some great facts. I mean, Froch's had his head in the books. He really has. He's come out with some classics.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But, chicken update. All doing very good, mate.
I can't believe, right, so listen, for you guys listening, these chickens, they were gone. In my eyes, they were gone. They were lying there. I didn't even think they were real when I first saw them, did I? They were
on death's door.
They were barely breathing, right?
No,
So
they're up and about today. I let them out. They're eating, they're drinking, they're starting to get fur on them.
Can we
as well.
explain how they were brought back?
They were dead.
Right, they were dead, but let's explain that. I mean, this is fucking blew me away,
Oh,
Jake.
it was with Piers Morgan's face.
Yeah, but I don't think people appreciate what's happened here. So these chickens were virtually dead. We done the podcast.
No, they were dead.
Yeah, we done the podcast.
Yeah.
We come back out and they had all hay over them and everything. And we look at them. I'm thinking, fucking, this looks bad, man. These chickens ain't going to come along. And Jake, you come up with an amazing idea, didn't you? To get a hairdryer. Now, it wasn't a normal hairdryer. It was a face of Piers Morgan.
Yeah, because I got sent a hairdryer with Piers Morgan's face on it.
Right.
I think it's called a Morgan 3000. If you watch Good Morning Britain, he's been talking about it on there. So I got sent one 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's just up anyway. It's the first thing to hand.
Yeah.
So right, let's get the old Morgan 3000 on them. And we did that for about half an hour. Breathe life in them, but by the morning,
Mate,
these things were up and about.
I mean, this was before my eyes, right? As this was, these chickens are virtually gone, right? Jake's put the hairdryer on them. I'm standing there. It's like 5 minutes goes. I'm watching them. I see the legs start kicking, and I thought, this is a miracle. This is a miracle.
Yeah, it was.
What is happening before my eyes?
That one's called Spencer.
Is a miracle,
now, and the other one's Piers.
So you've got two chickens now called Spencer and Piers.
And I went on Good Morning Britain. And I sent Piers the clip.
Yeah.
And showed it on Good Morning Britain.
Brilliant.
And Piers is over the moon, mate. He's delighted.
So for the chicken update, the chickens are alive and well.
Chickens are doing well, yeah. They're
called Spencer and Piers.
2 of them are, yeah. So there's 4 chickens out there. They're doing good.
Brilliant.
Man. And they get the old little bit of fur on them and all that.
Yeah,
so,
honestly, I had to mention it because I couldn't. I was fucking affected by it, weren't I? And when I see these chickens, you was going into Good Morning Britain. And you sent me the picture of these chickens. I went, it can't be the same ones.
Yeah.
They were
it's a miracle,
fucking
isn't it?
running about.
Miracle.
Wow.
It was a miracle. So,
wow, brilliant.
Happy days, so there you go. Wilder Ortiz 2. Now, I was looking forward to this fight. I was away the weekend in Whitstable.
Yeah.
Lovely, very nice, visiting friends. I avoided the fight all night because I thought I'd have a nice sleep. Then we were going to drive back. I thought I'll avoid it. I won't go on Twitter and all that. I'll just avoid it. Won't check my phone and that. You know what I mean? Just leave it. I won't speak to anyone. You know, I'll get back. I'll sit down on the sofa. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I've been looking forward to it for months. Pick up the phone when I wake up, 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a text from Spencer Oliver. Boom, round 7. Oh, you fucking fuck.
Oh,
that was
mate.
the end of that.
Do you know what?
Fucking spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's what you put, didn't you? Spoiler
Jesus
alert. And I was
Christ.
like, well, what's the matter, mate? Did you bet on it? And he was like, no, I've not watched it. I was like, oh, mate. But the reason I sent that, I'll tell you what happened. The reason I sent that was because I was sort of having a bad day. I was betting on Callum Smith and John Ryder. And John Ryder, by the way, is the guest that we've got on tonight.
Listen, so happy about John coming on. Anyone who saw the fight Saturday night, we'll talk about it in a second, won't we?
Sure.
But obviously there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of people thinking that the decision should have gone in John's direction. Obviously, Callum Smith got the win, didn't he? Unanimous decision, but the points were fucking outrageous. Let's get to that in a second.
Yeah, which we'll get to that.
But listen, John has very generously agreed to come on the show, and I'm really interested to hear what he's got to say. So
definitely.
That's a good guest, man.
Can't wait for that.
Shit.
But so let me go back to where I was at. So I was betting on Callum Smith to win because I thought, and I'll tell John this, I thought Callum Smith was going to win.
Listen, we all did, man. We no one gave John much of a chance going into that fight.
So I'm losing money, man.
Even more remarkable the performance he put in.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, go on. You're losing money.
So I'm losing money.
Yeah.
I'm losing money on rounds. I'm thinking he's gonna do it like sort of mid rounds or whatever. I thought that Callum Smith was gonna win by stoppage. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all over.
I thought he was gonna go late rounds, didn't I? Between 9 and 12. I think I put.
So Nicholas says to me, "You're useless. You always lose on the betting on boxing. Don't bet anymore." So I'm sitting there. I'm thinking we've got Wilder Ortiz coming up.
Yeah.
I fancy it.
Yeah.
So I'm on my betting app.
On your Premier Punt.
On my Premier Punt betting app.
Yeah.
And I have a sneaky 50 quid.
Yeah.
10-1.
Wow.
Round 7.
Fucking hell. You just saw it, did you? You just had a vision.
I'm losing money, but I've got a vision.
You had a vision, round 7.
I've seen it. It's there. It's in the stars.
Well, listen, round 7 was the fucking round that Wilder nearly lost in the first fight.
Exactly.
Wasn't it? Oh,
yeah.
Right,
so this 7 was in my head.
7.
I go to bed. I've got the I'm losing money.
Yeah.
I go to bed. I wake up. I'm going training, right?
Wake up with a monkey.
It's 8 o'clock. I look. That's fucking round 7.
Text me straight away.
Straight away. Straight away. I think you got the text before I woke Nicola up.
Fucking hell.
She's lying there and I'm like, Nick, I've done it. She went, why didn't you tell me? This is what she's done. She went, why didn't you tell me? You didn't tell me bet on that. Why didn't you tell me about the bet? I went, because you told me not to bet. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
So a lesson for all you women out there that are moaning about your men losing money, that
let them crack on.
I've had to do it on the sly. Now she's effectively lost a monkey.
Listen, while we're talking about betting and Premier Punt, I think there's still free £5 available. Not many.
There is.
But if you go to premierpunt.com, put in pound for pound when you put all your details in and all that, you get a free £5 bet.
Yeah, follow the code pound for pound, and there's a free £5 bet there. So bookmakers are giving away money. Come on, guys, you got to jump on that. It's a free bet, man. There's loads of fights going on. If you don't like betting on the boxing, pull it on the roulette. Do whatever you want.
Get on it. Now, listen, for my money, because I did get home, I did watch the fight. I said to you, is it worth watching? You said yes. Got home, watched the fight. Now, for my money, maybe that is the worst performance of any heavyweight boxer before he goes on to win from Wilder.
Not just any heavyweight boxer, I think from any boxer. Technically, it was terrible.
He just he didn't win around, did he?
No, but it wasn't that he never got going. It was the way he was throwing his shots. He was so lethargic. I just thought it was absolutely terrible.
Ortiz looked razor sharp, didn't he? Considering he's about 85 years old.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
His footwork's still pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, we got a bit of sticks. We were saying he was 34 last week.
No, he's 40, isn't it?
40,
He's not 40, though. He's about 50.
No, he's older than 40.
He's 50.
So it don't matter what,
He's
it
50,
is.
yeah,
He's older.
50.
He's older than 40. Anyway.
But he looked in good shape.
He did. And he was dominating the fight.
Easy.
He was dominating the fight.
He was boxing beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
But then Wilder put out a tweet, didn't he, saying a fight is over 36 minutes. His point was that he can take anyone, and it only takes 2 seconds to win
Well,
one.
no, I saw it. Yeah, didn't he say he's got, look, anyone I've got to fight has got to be perfect for 36 minutes,
That's it.
and I've only got to be perfect for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, he's got a point, because I suppose when you've got that sort of power, Spencer, and there was no panic in the corner, was there, from any of his team or from him?
No.
There was no signs that he was worried about being so far behind. He just didn't give a shit, because he knows, doesn't he, if he fucking clips him, something's going to happen. And you look at it as well: 42 fights, 41 knockouts. But he goes around saying every man I've ever fought has hit the canvas, and even in the draw with Fury, of course, he got Fury down. So he's right. Every man Wilder has ever got in the ring with has fucking hit the canvas. And that is an unbelievable stat, isn't it?
That's an unbelievable stat, and this is an unbelievable fact. This ain't from Frotchy. This is from Pound for Pound Boys. This is an unbelievable fact that he is the only heavyweight in history to have floored or knocked out every opponent he's been in with.
He's got a 95% knockout rate.
Yeah.
I think next one down is Jake LaMotta.
Yeah.
And I think Tyson's number 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I think Tyson's around about 60%.
Foreman's up there somewhere as well, isn't he?
Up there. But I mean, fucking no. If he continues at this pace, Spence, we're looking at the most powerful pound-for-pound boxer in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, but he can't box for toffee.
He can't. He can't. He can't.
How does he work it out?
And that's another fact. I mean, we're throwing fucking bundles of facts out there before we've even got Frotchy on.
Isn't it weird?
But he can't box for toffee. I mean, he threw a couple of left hooks in there, and I mean, look, when we go
but
into...
does it matter if you got... It doesn't matter if you can fucking...
When you can fight like that, when you can punch like that.
Don't matter, does it?
I mean, he throws left hooks and he throws them with his elbow down, he's slapping them. I'm going, fucking technically, this is the worst I've ever seen from an amateur or pro.
An amateur, really? You go as far as saying...
I'm going to go as far as that, Jake. It was terrible.
But he's got that power.
He has got freakishly...
Because the shot he got Ortiz with wasn't even one of his looping shot. It would just come straight down.
Listen,
technique was beautiful, man.
I spoke to Adam Smith.
Opened him up with a fucking jab.
I spoke to Adam Smith, who was working on there.
And as soon as he hit him, he walked away. He knew, didn't he?
Knew.
Unbelievable.
I spoke to Adam, who was working ringside, and I said, Adam, I can't believe what I've just watched.
Yeah.
Like, what was... And he went, Spence, he was so technically poor, it was unreal. He said, but his power, when you're sitting at ringside, he said, you feel it. You feel that...
Yeah, but you saw it on the commentary, didn't you? Like, because I knew the result and what was coming round 7, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But I think even Macklin was saying, in round 7, if you go back, watch round 7, at the beginning of the round, he goes... Wilder's not going to find the one shot he needs. He needs to double up on the jab. He needs to get him. He's not going to find the one shot. 30 seconds later, one shot, boom, gone. And when he hit Ortiz, you could see his soul leave his body.
Yeah, he was gone. He was done.
He's done.
He done it. As he was going down, you saw the soul going up, didn't you? It was like one of them. It was like,
he thought it was sweat coming off his head, but it weren't. It was his soul fucking going back to Cuba, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, mate.
Fuck that. Wasn't it?
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bye,
see ya.
bye,
Bye,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, his eyes looked white, didn't they, like a shark?
Oh, it was.
He's fucking done.
Oh,
he was done,
mate. He was done.
But you can see from his reaction afterwards how annoyed with himself he was.
Yeah.
Because he knew how fucking far ahead he was in the fight.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? It's like we were talking about there.
Crazy,
it was so technically bad for 6 rounds, so technically bad. But the right hand he threw was so sweet.
Yeah.
It was straight down the pipe.
It's beautiful.
It was like, how can you go from being so technically bad to throwing such a technically great right hand?
Yeah, but he threw one punch all fight.
Yeah.
He threw one technically brilliant punch all fight.
The whole fight.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's all he needs.
Incredible.
It's mad, isn't it? Madness.
Yeah,
so listen,
really
they're talking about Fury next in February. Do you think that will happen in February? And what do you think the outcome of that fight will be?
I'm praying it happens. And
it's not a done deal yet.
It's not a done deal, by the way, no. But I'm praying it does happen. I think that both parties want it, so I think it should happen.
And I think it will depend on how Fury's cut heels.
Yeah, but I think he's looking good. He's done the WWE thing and that. And when I've seen him there, he looks like the scar looks like it's healing well. So let's hope if it does happen in February, it does happen. But so this is how I see the fight going. I think Fury should absolutely box his head off, right?
Yeah, but I think it'll be a rerun of the first one. But there's always that fucking danger.
If he lands the shot.
He's gonna fucking land the shot. And he landed it in the first fight, round 12. Do you think he'll land it again?
Well,
I mean,
this is the thing.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Fury will box his head off first half of the fight, fact, because he won't get near him. Wilder. No. Fury's like as slippery as a box of eels. As Fury starts tiring a little bit, Wilder showed in the last fight with Fury that he carries that power right up to the final bell. Like, that power doesn't leave him. Some fighters, they hit hard early on, but then the power leaves them. But Wilder's got that. And I think that's what we find so intriguing. Who do I think wins? I think Fury wins the fight.
What points?
I think he wins the fight on points. He stays out of trouble and dominates. And yeah, I think he wins the fight on points. But that power that Wilder's got, you can't write him off.
Into this fight, into the rematch in February. Like, you look where Fury came from in that year to build up. We lost 10 stone. Battles with mental health. Coming out of shape. All of his camp was fucking losing weight. Now you look now, he's had 3 or 4 fights. He's in tip-top shape. He's keeping himself in the gym. Like, you got to think of where they were in the first fight and where they are now. Fury's kind of he's up a couple of other levels. Now you talk about Fury blowing out in the first fight. He's less likely to do that now, isn't he? So he is. Hopefully he'll be fit for 12 rounds. Won't he? He won't be in that same position. But it's always just fucking with Wilder. It's just crazy. Isn't it?
It's the power that he carries. Will Fury's cut hold out? I mean, once Fury got picked
that
up,
cut will open, mate. Trust me.
Once he picked that cut up in the third round, also Wallin then got himself right into that fight, and there weren't a lot in it. He was giving Fury nightmares.
Whatever happens, that cut will reopen straight away.
Well, if it reopens, then he could be in trouble.
No, he won't be. He'll box on with it.
I know he might box on with it, but it's whether the referee lets it go on, but Wilder's a different kettle of fish to Wallin.
Target it.
Yeah, Wilder's a different kettle of fish to Wallin. If Wilder hits you, you're going to know about it. Listen, that's why we want to see the fight. Yeah.
I mean, for that reason, on its own, I'm glad Wilder came through that. It would have been really fascinating. Well, I don't know. Would it have been fascinating if Ortiz had won that? It would have been. It's just chaos at the moment in the heavyweight division, isn't it? I think it's a better narrative in it that Wilder's won. Now, obviously, we've got Joshua Ruiz Saturday week out in Saudi. You're going out there.
I'm out there
Sunday morning.
So we've got a fantastic pod we're going to do from there, aren't we? Let's explain what we're going to do out there.
So we're going to I'm going to bell you up, basically.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going away. I'm going away on the Sunday. no, but it's not. But I'm going away on the Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, we'll speak when you're out.
So we normally record on a Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to go away Sunday, and I'm going to pick up. I'll see what is fascinating.
A good guess.
A good guess.
Wicked.
A good one.
Yeah, no, fucking get a decent one.
No, I'm talking like I want Ruiz.
Yeah.
I want him.
Is Ruiz out there?
Yeah, he's there now.
What? He's there? Oh, yeah, of course.
They're out there now.
Shit, boy. Is he out there already?
Yeah, no, and I spoke to him a lot on the last fight.
When did Ruiz? I know that
I think Joshua's out there. I think they arrived around the same sort of time. I think he's gone there as well now, I
like to see that as well, the fight getting there at least 2 weeks before.
Yeah, I know Joshua's definitely landed. I haven't seen that Ruiz has, but I know that he's due to any time now.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is when I get out there, mate, and I get him, I was speaking to him at the last, when they was doing the press conference in London.
You said
anyway.
Lovely guy, wasn't he?
Lovely guy.
Listen,
and he was saying do it on the phone now.
Man. Shit, I can't wait for that fight.
So I can't wait either.
But listen, let's break that down next week.
Yeah.
Shit, that's going to be great.
That's it, man.
Saudi, looking forward to going.
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Imagine that.
So let's go to our other talking point from this Saturday night. John Ryder versus Callum Smith. Up there in Liverpool, Callum's hometown. I watched it live. And by the end of the fight, for my money, Ryder had nicked it. If you look at aggression, shots fired, he was making Callum miss. I like the fact that no one gave him any chance going into it.
Yeah.
But, I think at the end of it, for me, it was like, was that a really bad performance by Callum or was that a great performance by John? And I think more of me was like, that was a fucking great performance by John. Like the game plan he had, tucked up nicely, small, so small, innit? And Callum just couldn't get his shots away. All his shots were going over the head. And I think I think they got it just right.
They did, mate.
And for my money, mate, 100% John Ryder, should have at least got a draw. And for my money, nicked it by a round. I know that's not everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
But that's certainly mine.
I'm with you, Jake. I think that, I think he just nicked it. A draw at worst. And I think I tweeted on the night there, I thought it was a draw then. I thought, you know what? He's done it here, John. I think he's had a great finish. He had a great start. Tactically, Tony Sims, who's very underrated, got it right. He basically had John Ryder sitting on his chest. And every time Ryder was throwing his shot, smothering Callum Smith. Smith, we know, is a great counter-puncher with a left hook. Ryder would just bend his knees, go under the shot. Tactically, he had it great. And he surprised me, blew me away. But I think, yeah, you're right. I think he was very unfortunate not to come away with at least a draw. And I think the whole controversy of this whole thing was the scorecards.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, the scorecards were ridiculous. 117, 111, and 116, 112 twice. I think...
so that basically gives Callum Smith 8 rounds to 4, won it twice.
Yeah.
And then Terry O'Connor, I'm sorry, mate, I'm gonna name you here as a judge who gave it 117, 111. He marks it 9 rounds to Callum Smith, 3 rounds to John Ryder. I mean, what fucking fight was he watching?
No way. Come on, man.
That's ridiculous,
That's
isn't
a disgrace. And I think that's... It's fucking the sport up a little bit, if I'm honest. I see it, we're seeing it a lot lately, that certain fights, and it's like, look, I don't get them all right, but I know when they're close, and I know who's won a fight, or generally, if they're close, then it's subjective scoring. You might think one guy, I think another guy.
Now, listen,
but so that was a close fight.
Yeah.
But the scorecards, this is the big arguing point here, that everybody appreciates that it was a close fight.
No, but you think if Callum Smith had won that fight, but the scorecards were close, then
we wouldn't be having this debate.
Obviously, yeah, it's fucking. It could have gone either way. As long it was clearly a close fight.
Listen, when I saw Smith won,
nothing between.
When I saw Smith won the fight on Saturday night, I was like, fucking hell, yeah, he's got away with it there because it was a close fight. I thought it could have gone either way. I'll tell you what it done for me as well. I saw it was a close fight. They give Smith up. And then when they read out the scorecards, that turned me straight away. I went, this is bollocks. Now,
yeah, fuck off.
If the scorecards were 115, 114, 113, 114,
yeah,
whatever.
I think everyone could accept that. And then I think, look, it was a really close fight. If you go back and watch it, you can probably make a good argument for either guy having won. For my money, John Ryder, if you look at aggression coming forward, shots landed, putting it on him, fucking round 11, he was all over him.
Yeah.
He had a really strong finish. And you could argue maybe Callum was boxing better in the first half of the fight. But Callum, for me, never got going. And I think part of that was fucking John's game plan.
Yeah.
Getting in there. And towards the end, all Callum could do when he got in close was fucking hold on to him. Which is what it is, but a bad performance from Callum Smith, considering he wants to go on to Canelo and all that.
Well, yeah, it was one of them. Was it a bad performance, or was it just a great performance by John Ryder? I think that people, including myself, underestimated John at the highest level, but he proved he belongs on the world scene. That's why, by the way, I rang him the next morning. This is bizarre as well. I text Tony Sims and said, Tony, you know what? You was hard done by there, mate. Great performance, and more importantly, great technical fight, great tactics by yourself, and put a clap in hands, right? So I've done that. He replied straight away, thanks, Spence, no problem. I said, listen, what's the chance of getting John on? He sent me John's number and went, give him a buzz. I rang John. This is on the Sunday after the fight. This is the next day.
Really?
I rang John and went, John, do you want to? He went, I'd love to. He went, I'd love to. I went, fucking, that's just a mark of the guy.
Well, that's what I said to you tonight when you come in. I said not many boxers would want to come in after having lost like that. But I think John, like you could see from his reaction in the ring, like how sort of, he was so calm, wasn't he? And sort of like, I think he knows that basically, and you could tell by the reaction of the crowd in it, it'd be interesting to ask him, speak to him about it. He obviously knows, and it was so like a bit of a joke, isn't it, the scorecards? Yeah. So what are you going to do? And I think he knows that fucking with that performance, that, people in there could see what they could see, and they're making their own minds up. You can see at the end of fucking everyone's booing. People in that stadium up in Liverpool on Saturday night definitely felt the other way.
Well, I've got a couple of mates from Liverpool.
Or at least felt that the scorecards were... It's outrageous, isn't it?
I've got a couple of mates from Liverpool that go to the boxing all the time. And one of my mates, Danny, texted me straight after the fight and went, "That was bollocks." Now he's a Scouser.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, that, the Scousers they love their own people.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? As we, as we all do from whatever area, but they love their own people and they love their fighting. But when you got a Scouser text and you say, "Mate, that's bollocks," you go, "Well,
that's when
you got to look into that a little bit." Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Listen, as I said before, you can make probably a good argument for either of those guys winning. For my money, it was John. But yeah, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that was no way Callum Smith's best performance. And I think he knew it, didn't he, by the end of the fight?
Absolutely. Listen, it's not the fact that Callum Smith won the fight, because I was with you, Jake. I thought it was a draw. I'm going to win a round either way. That's not the problem. I think the problem is the scorecards.
Yeah, you want to see it reflecting the fight.
Come on, reflect the fight, man. Yeah, that's like the scorecards were a disgrace. I'm not denying Callum Smith the victory. We love Callum Smith. Do you know what I mean? He's a great fighter, but this is all about John Ryder and what, he proved that he belongs on that stage, but he didn't get the rewards that he should have got. And that is at least give the scorecards closer. Listen, if you're going to lose.
As a fighter, you put your whole life into this sport. It's got to be so disheartening, isn't it? You get to that certain point, you get to that point of a world title shot, and then it gets scored like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he managed to compose himself. And also for the fans, it's just, I've seen tweets and all that from people saying, "That's it, bollocks, I'm done with boxing." I like, if I'm,
they can't handle it anymore. It's happening all the time. They can't handle it. You know,
can't handle it.
There's people out there need cancelling.
Can't handle it.
They can't handle it anymore.
What? They can't handle the scorecard?
Yeah, they're just getting like it's
I'm enough. I'm done.
They're done.
Yeah, but it's bad for the sport, isn't it?
But you're seeing tweets where people are saying, "I'm done. I can't handle it."
Yeah, but it's bollocks.
I'm washing my hands with the sport.
That's what I mean. It's bad, and it's bad for the sport.
Fucking, they've got to sort it out. Huh? I mean, there's got to be some sort of ruling that goes, right, so Terry O'Connor scores it 117, 111. Terry, come here, mate. Yeah, come in front of the board and explain how you've got there. And if you can explain it with fairly, then great.
Listen,
explain how you scored the 12th round, by the way, to Callum Smith when John Ryder had a massive round.
You don't want to go down the road of saying, "Oh, look, it's all corrupt and all that."
Yeah.
But fucking scorecards like that do make you make you think, well,
listen,
fucking have they? He's probably wrote out in a hotel
I'm not
room,
saying.
isn't he?
I'm not saying
before the fight.
I'm not saying it's corrupt, but what I'm saying is that there's certain people that you've got to start asking the question: is this guy getting too old to be doing this? Because fucking how's he coming up with these scores? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, though, Jake? I mean, he's been around a long time, the guy, but like when he's got that much experience. How are you reading the fight so badly?
Yeah, how are you doing it so badly? Bad, isn't it?
I need the answers.
Crazy.
Might have to try and get old Terry O'Connor on next week.
Not after you fucking coat him up like that. He ain't going to come anywhere near you.
Yeah, I know. Well, fucking hell, he's got to explain
madness, isn't it?
You know, it winds me up because I know what it means to these guys. I spoke to John. I spoke to him and said to him, he said, it's not about winning the belts. It's, it's what I've lost for my family's future. Well, exactly. Canelo's eyeing up the winner of this.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it can affect your whole career going forward. Everything you put your whole life into, and John has started boxing from an early age. You hopefully get to a point where you can get the big fights, you get the belts, you start making. You don't really properly start making money in boxing until you start defending your belts.
Absolutely.
Do you? Even winning the belts. You're still chasing the money. You look at the money that Joshua Ruiz again. I think. What's it? Joshua's on 85 million.
Ruiz is on 13 million.
13 million.
Yeah.
So until he fucking wins that fight and starts defending, then Ruiz is, he's the man. You know what I mean? He's 30 million is still a lot of money, but in comparison,
exactly.
He's not the main breadwinner there. Now that's exactly the same situation with John. He's not making life-changing money on this fight. But if the scorecards went a different way and he got it, and he makes a defence, and then he's fucking he's secured his family's future.
If he gets Canelo's fight, he's in for millions of pounds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you work yourself into that position, it's fucking wrong, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's wrong. Mate. I really feel for him, but that's why I'm so to see his reaction, because he's in every. You imagine like your emotions are so fucking heightened up at that point, and then you hear the scorecard that you're well within your right, and you're at that point to fucking, this is all bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's no
he's
better time.
He's done a great job to sort of...
to hold it down. Listen, he's been very, very humble in defeat.
Listen, I'm looking forward to getting him on because, I think he's... I I think it's great that he's agreed to come on. Like, fucking most boxers after having a loss, they wouldn't want to come and talk to us, would they?
I think we're getting more wound up than him.
Shit, boy!
Wow.
Listen. Listen, we're going to get John on very, very shortly. But listen, we've got Carl Froch's facts back.
Yes.
So should we smash that out?
We've got to. And the Froch
He's been missing,
back.
mate. He's been missing. So listen, this is this week's episode of Carl Froch's Fascinating Fact of the Week.
Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. His granddad comes from Poland, he never fought in Holland. Well, I never knew that. Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. Frochi!
So, the population of Stone Age Europe can fit on a mid-sized cruise ship. Fact.
Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. His granddad comes from Poland, he never fought in Holland. Well, I never knew that. Froch's Fascinating Facts of the Week. Frochi!
That was Carl Froch's Fascinating Fact of the Week. And according to Carl Froch, Stone Age Europe, the population of Stone Age Europe would have fitted on a mid-sized cruise ship.
What is Stone Age Europe? Well, I mean, when is that dated?
I don't know. When was the Stone Age? Was it BC? We had this chat with Carl when we recorded it, didn't we? We didn't. Let me have a look. When is the Stone Age? It's a good question.
Yeah, I know. But I think that people will want to know that. That's why I asked.
All right. When is the Stone Age? Stone Age is a prehistoric period.
So it was BC?
Oh, yeah. It ended between 8,000 and 2,000 BC. And it lasted 3.4 million years.
That's incredible, though, isn't it?
Mm. But it's fucking not many of them, is it? Not many people about.
Nah.
Isn't it?
Froch's going to come up with some classics. Yeah, man, don't worry about that.
But I've been on a mid-sized cruise ship. I went on a Strictly cruise, like a Strictly. It was strictly themed, right?
Yeah, go on.
And the deal was I had to do one dance right, in a week. This was right, a week. I had to do one dance, right, and I had to do 1 hour Q&A, and the rest of the time was my own.
What? That's all you done? How long was you there for? A week?
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was a little bit less. I think it was 6 days. Well, that's what I said. I got on the ship, went down to Southampton or wherever it was. Yeah. Got on the ship. I was like, "Fucking, I'm gonna have a little bit of this." And so I said to whoever it was, someone in the uniform, and I was like, "Fucking no, this is great." I was like, "Where are we stopping first?" He went, "Oh no." He said, "We're at sea for 6 days, and then you get off." No way. I was like, "Fucking hell!"
What, you didn't stop?
All I saw was the sea.
No.
Yeah, part of the thing is you want to get off.
It's not being in jail.
I didn't see anything.
Well, you didn't get off anywhere?
No. He went, "No, we're at sea for 6 days. You get off, and then we cruise about."
Did you get seasick?
No. But it does rock about. The whole thing moves and all that. There's a casino on there. There's like a shopping centre.
No.
Cinema, 600-seat theatre.
Really?
Unbelievable, man. Yeah.
But
football pitch on the top. Gym, full kitted out. I was running, looking at the sea. It's so weird, man.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so good. I enjoy it.
Madness.
But that's it. But that would have been prehistoric Europe.
Wow.
On that boat.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Insane. Insane.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go. Where are we at now?
That's it. It's good to have Frochi back, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's so pleased to have old Frochi back. Yeah, because...
Listen, we've got some nutty facts coming up.
Yeah, we've got some mad facts, but we have some mad debates on the back of them. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So there you go.
People love their old Frochi's facts, don't they?
Yeah. People have been missing it, haven't they?
They have. Yeah.
Right, let's get John Ryder on, shall we?
Yeah, I think there's no better time. We've just had that big debate between ourselves. The whole country's been debating about it, if I'm honest. So no better time to get John Ryder on than now. So let's give him a call. John, how you doing, mate?
How's it going, Spence? I'm good, mate.
All good, mate. Just sitting here with Mr. Jake Wood. Thanks for coming on the podcast, pal.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, John. Especially, what happened Saturday. How you feeling after results Saturday night, mate?
Hey, odd. I'm feeling like a winner. Feel like a champ. And you know what? The backlash on social media has been overwhelming. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was listen, I was watching the fight at home. At the time, I thought, at worst, you was going to get a draw out of it. You could have nicked it by a round. But the scorecards, the controversy over the scorecards is the big problem here, John, isn't it? I mean, it was 117, 111 and 116, 112 twice. I mean, what is going on with his scoring these days? Because it's not just your fight I've seen this in recently. It's a number of fights. And I saw one of the judges scored the last round for Callum Smith. And how did he do that? I just do not know.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. I mean, you look at the scorecards, I mean, I see the three of them, I was thinking that none of them are scoring for the same round, so you can't even say, like, right, that it makes sense that they've all seen it the same way, because it's like, they're not. There's nothing to say that they're seeing it the same way, even them three, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
What was your reaction, John, when you heard the scorecards when they were announced in the ring?
Well, I heard the first one, 117, 111, I thought, right, that's the hometown decision, you know what I mean? That's it. But I thought, you know what? Another two, I'll probably get 115, 113, 115, 114, and I've got it. I'm champion. But when they both come back, I just thought, I can't believe it.
I mean, what was your feeling going in? Like, what was your feeling when you come back at the end of the 11th round? You was clearly getting on top in the last quarter of the fight. Definitely. I mean, I thought you was doing well right from the opening bell. If I'm honest, you had a really good start as well. But just rewinding to the end of the fight, you come back at the end of the 11th round. What was being said to you by Tony in the corner? Like, was the general feeling that you was up at the time?
Yeah, just go out, just make sure of it, and just win this last round. And I think I've done that pretty well. And I mean, almost had him out at the 11th. It was,
yeah.
You can always say if the round was that 30 seconds longer.
Yeah.
This ain't MMA, it's boxing. We got 3-minute rounds. Do you know what I mean? But just call him too late in the round. But and he come out and he got through the 12th. But listen, I was under the illusion that I had to get a knockout to win in Liverpool, but I thought that I would get a real fair crack at the whip. Do you know what I mean? We're both matchroom fighters, and I just didn't think I'd get over that way.
Did you? So you, before the fight, John, you thought you might have to knock him out to get the decision. Otherwise, you thought you might be up against it.
Yeah, massively, because I think like the likes of like the Fitzgerald and the Cheeseman fight, I just feel like, and it sounds a bit of a shame to say, but sometimes it feels like the judges have made their mind up before the fights actually happened. Well, there's a bigger plan in boxing than some people winning on the night, and I think it's showing massively with this Anfield card that they've got in the plans.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think, like, when you pull it like that, John, and you think about what was on the line here. Now, we know Canelo was eyeing up the winner of this fight. Callum Smith's got all the belts, obviously, WBC Diamond, WBA Super, Ring Magazine belt and all that. So he was obviously looking at this fight, eyeing up the winner. We know that is a massive money fight. Do you feel that maybe because of where Callum Smith is obviously established on the world scene, you're not established on the world scene, do you think that maybe that may have had something to do with the scoring?
Potentially. I mean, he's the biggest star, and he's well known on the world stage, well known around the world. He's gone and won the Super Series, so he is more of a household name. But I mean, like, listen, if you're churning out the wins and coming back from the brink to get back into world title contention, surely that should get you somewhere as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've had an incredible career, mate, but since moving up to super middleweight, you lost a split decision to Rocky Fielding. And from then, and that was for the British title, and since then, you've really just gone from strength to strength, worked yourself into mandatory position, which is incredible to do anyway. And I've got to say this, John, and I'm glad we're interviewing here today, because when this fight was made with yourself and Callum Smith, I didn't think you had a chance of winning it, if I'm honest. I thought that Callum Smith would be too big, too strong at that weight division.
No, everyone wrote you off, John, really, and no one gave you a chance going into that fight, did they? So
yeah, and you went and proved everybody wrong, mate, and just proved that you belong on the world scene.
No, you know what? And I think that was the beautiful thing about it. Very, very few people did believe I could win, and it was only a select few, me, Tony, my strength conditioner Dan, obviously my close friends and family, and I was getting dog abuse on social media before, saying you're going to get knocked out, it won't go past 3, and listen, it was all fuel for my fire. I mean, all considering I was getting booed, getting told I was going to get knocked out, and you know what? I just couldn't help but smile and just keep walking and just look forward to showing them.
Yeah. What's the secret of your success, John? I mean, you've been around a long time, and in the twilight of your career, really, you seem to have come of age. You seem to be better than you've ever been. I mean, what's the secret, mate? How comes? Why do you feel that you're improving so much at this late stage of your career?
Man, I'd love to fit it down to like a plug, like a Snickers bar a day or something.
That's Andy Ruiz, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. No, do you know what it is? I think it's just with age you become wiser and more sensible. I'm more settled now. I've got a missus and 2 kids, so I'm not interested in being out clubbing and partying. I've got a great trainer in Tony Sims. We did start working with Dan Lawrence doing the strength and conditioning. I think that has played a major part in explosiveness. And I've been working with him for the Cox fight, the Sorokin, the Akawai fight, and now the Smith fight. So, I mean, although I had the good win against Nielsen, Tony did see me that there was something I was lacking and said about working with Dan Lawrence. And I think it's all gone hand in hand. But I think along with like home life and just enjoying boxing more and not solely focusing on making weight, just being able to enjoy camp, being able to listen, talk things through, and take things in. I mean, before making middleweight, I was just every day was a chore, and I think I was just battling just to lose weight at times. Whereas now, my times are improving on the track, on the triangle, on the sled sprint. So everything's just improvement all round.
Do you think you'll stay at super middle now, John, or do you see yourself moving back down?
No chance. I'd have to cut a leg off. There's no chance of moving back down to middleweight. I feel very comfortable at super middleweight now, and I believe that. Listen, I'm not the biggest super middleweight, but I believe I'm a good size for it.
Yo, listen, mate, I've got to say, on Saturday night, you proved yourself to be way big enough and strong enough to be a super middleweight. I mean, your strength was evident right from the opening bell, but like, the way you picked it up, was incredible. The last quarter of the fight, you really put your foot on the gas and proved you belong in that weight division. I think that, moving up to super middleweight was definitely the best thing you've done.
Yeah, you know what? And I had wanted to do it prior to when I actually did move up, but I just think I could have done it too early, and I wasn't fully ready to. But I think when I did move up, it was the right time. I've probably built into it now. I mean, I made the weight the best I ever made it this time. No drying out, no trying to do like little sweat sessions to get the weight off. Down to Dan Lawrence and his food preparation and sodium manipulation. All the science behind it I don't understand, but I just listen and do what he says. And just that's the thing with boxing now. It's become of a science. Like the things they do to the body to help you sweat and to lose weight is just unbelievable. Yeah,
it's definitely like, the nutritional side of things and the science behind it now has definitely improved the sport and improved the boxers as well. You're right, mate. You're right.
So, John, what's the plans now, John, going forward? And then and then the second part of that question is like, how do you remotivate yourself, if you like, after a loss like that? And I'm the same as Spencer. I had you, one round up. I think you should have won that fight. So yeah, how do you go about motivating yourself now to come again?
Listen, I don't need much more motivation. I know my next fight is probably going to be for a world title, so there's no back to going back to 6 rounders at York Hall. I know that the next fight in my career will be another big fight. So in that sense, there's no real motivation needed. It's just nice to have a bit of rest now. It's coming at a good time. December coming up, we've got Christmas, so I've got a 15-week-old son. To spend some time with him and missus and my little girl. So yeah, just I've not been around much lately. I've been moved out in a flat with Dan Lawrence, getting everything under lock and key. So just enjoy family time now and
I mean,
dad for a while.
Has Eddie promised you that, mate? Did he promise you that he'll get you another world title shot, hopefully in your next one?
Well, he did say in the post-fight press conference that the potential of a WBA regular title against I think he's Lennox Allen. I think he's a Jamaican who fights in America,
right?
Or either like the Billy Joe fight or the rematch with Smith. So there is big fights out there still for me.
I was going to say that about the rematch with Smith because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media as well with people screaming, why is the rematch not being mentioned.
That
Why is Eddie
only
not
happen if
mentioned it?
Eddie would appeal the decision in it, and he's not going to do that, is he, John? As far as we understand.
I don't think he'll appeal it, no, but I just don't know what. If Callum doesn't get the Canelo fight, I really don't know what's next for him.
Yeah. I mean, a lot. I'm going to ask you anyway, but a lot of people would say, you seem to be very calm and relaxed, considering what happened on Saturday night. You see, a lot of fighters would be kicking up big time, that feeling that they had been hard done by that result. But you seem to have taken it all in your stride, John. You seem very relaxed about the whole situation.
Yeah, it's not in a minute. You got to be humble in victory and graceful in defeating. And I was a bit like, I suppose I was a bit stuck in the middle. So there's going to be no fireworks on my part, but just trying to make sense of it. I knew I'd won, and I felt like the winner. So I was just really, I knew I wasn't going to be in a bad position. So I'm in a great place, great people around me. So I can't really be too down about it.
Yeah, I think your stock has definitely risen as a result of that performance, John. And then, what was the atmosphere in the stadium on Saturday was? Yeah, it was a bit sort of. Could you feel that the audience felt that you had won that?
Yeah, I can't. Well, like I said, I knew I was going to walk to the ring to booze and cutthroat signs and whatnot. But I used that as fuel. Do you know what I mean? But then walking out there, got cheered and. Yeah, it felt like it went very pro-Ryder all of a sudden. So it was just a nice, warming.
Well, I think that, in Liverpool they are probably the biggest boxing fans in the country. If I'm honest, they love their sport, they love their boxing, and they appreciate what they saw on Saturday night. I think that what they witnessed was that John Ryder come to fight and he give it everything, and he should have been walking out of there with them belts.
Yeah, massively. I mean, like I say, it's one of my favourite cities to go and watch the boxing. They get like not any fault, but they do get right behind their own, and that's the if you're going there as an opponent, you're gonna feel it. And like I suppose Belfast is very similar. That they really get they love their boxing and
passionate,
they're all fighting cities. Yeah, the passion comes out of them.
And so have your family and your close friends and family taken a loss Saturday, John? And is that hard to lift them if they're sort of disappointed on your behalf, sort of thing? Is that hard to manage?
No, because I think they're all seeing it through the same lens as me. Like, we know deep down that we won the fight, and the good thing is we're not going to be. It's not back to the drawing board now. There's still big things to come, and I've gone in there against the world number one and beat him. So my stock has massively risen. We know where I'm at, and for now, it's just what is next.
That's a great position to be in, isn't it? You know exactly what you've done in there, and you know sort of you've got the experience behind you to know it's not the end of the road. It's kind of, if anything, it's push you a little bit forward. And if you do get that world title shot in 2020, John, I think if you keep improving as you are, there's every chance you'll become world champion, mate. I hope it happens for you.
No, mate, fingers crossed. I mean, it'd be a great 2020 to start off well and get a world title on waist. I thought I'd be getting the end of this year, but little postponement on that. But no, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? I'm in a good place, got great people around me, and it's hard to be down and not fully focused on getting better when you've got all that around you.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, John. When I think back, and it was a while ago now, when you lost the British title to Nick Blackwell, I remember being there that night and just thinking, you know what, it was for the British middleweight title, wasn't it? And I was thinking, this could be the end of the road, or he's found his level. Fast forward a couple of years, and here you are talking about boxing the world number one super middleweight, old, not more than old in your own with him. Should have walked out with the belts. It's a mad how boxing goes in it, but it proves, one thing it does prove is that hard work and determination gets you where you need to go.
Oh, massively. And you know what? I've never been in boxing to retire undefeated. I've just wanted to be in the best fights I can possibly be involved in, and just listen, like the Arturo Gatti, he didn't retire undefeated, but you always remember the fights he had with like the likes of Mickey Ward and all that, like the absolute thrillers. So as long as you're remembered in the sport for just fighting the good fights and not cherry picking, not fighting useless, like just having good fights.
I mean, how old was you when you got into boxing, John?
I was 12.
Wow, so you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, been in it a long time now. Yeah.
So who was you boxing for?
My first fight, well, initially came down to Finchley. My dad brought me down there.
Yeah.
Was there for, I think, 2.5 years. Never had a fight. Boxed on a couple of gym shows in Reading on the Sunday, but then moved to Angel. Just the travelling got too much for me. Moved to Angel, and I think when I was 15, and then had 35 fights for them, winning 2 national novice titles, and then turning pro.
Oh, so did you ever do the senior ABAs?
I'd done the first year I'd done them. I beat Lewis Reed in the quarters, then lost to Groves in the Northwest Division final.
Wow.
That was a tough draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
The year after we beat the gal. Year later, I lost in the Northwest Divs again. And the year after that, I got to won the Northwest Divs and lost in the final London semi to Kurt Garvey.
Wow.
Yeah, so you've had quite a few knockbacks, haven't you, along the way, John, haven't you? And you've sort of you've kept at it, kept sort of chipping away. And as Spencer said, it's sort of, you can see where the hard work and determination, eventually takes you. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it's good.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I think I've got a good old fashioned Irish work ethic in me. Like my dad, never give up. You just tomorrow's another day. We'll go again.
Well, you was trained by Colin Lake many years ago, weren't you? But a lot of people might not know the name Colin Lake. Colin Lake used to train Colin Dunn. Actually, you got a similar style to Colin Dunn, but he had a similar amateur pedigree to you as well, Colin Dunn. Colin Dunn was a great lightweight who went on to win a world title as a lightweight. But as an amateur, he lost in the Northwest Divs. He used to box for our club as well, Finchley. He lost in the Northwest, and then he got to the London finals, one similar to John. But they had similar sort of styles. But as a pro, their styles worked. And Colin went on to have a great career. You remember Colin, don't you, John?
Yeah, no, I still speak to Colin. He was there on Saturday night.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because he's a Scouser, isn't he, of course?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So, but you got a similar sort of style to him. Actually, you look similar to him as well.
We do look very familiar. Yeah.
You do. I remember when I first saw you, Colin Lake was in the corner, and I thought, fucking hell, hold on a minute, that looks like Colin Dunn. Yeah.
I've never seen Colin Dunn.
Oh, he looks exactly the same, and they've got the same style.
Looks like John, really?
Yeah, mad. Yeah. But is that where you first started with Colin Lake? Is that the sort of style that he put into you?
Yeah, no, I had a couple of fights under another trainer, the Angel. Then Colin Lake come along. I think Colin Dunn had been retired a few years, and I think just looking to get back in. And yeah, I mean, Colin Dunn was the first pro fight I'd been to see as a kid.
Wow.
So years later, to be trained by his trainer was like a dream come true. So
of course.
It's mad, yeah. I think. Listen, Colin Lake was a great trainer and bundles, but I think he had one way of training. So I think any fight you look at that Colin Lake trained, you'd all think they was the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It was like just fucking workhorses, man. Yeah, Colin Dunn. But yeah, that's really weird, mate. It's just come to me. You and Colin Dunn both trained by Colin Lake, and you look like brothers. Mental.
That's it. I look like I used to look like his big brother. Now he looks like my big brother.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Listen, John, are you still in touch with Charlie Hawkins?
I am. Yeah. I was with him today. Actually, he had some breakfast. And
oh, nice. Did he go to? Yeah. Was he there Saturday?
Yeah, he was up in Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone listening doesn't know who Charlie Hawkins is. He used to play Darren in EastEnders.
Yeah, I remember seeing him with John a few times. Actually.
Yeah, I think that's when I first met you, actually, John, wasn't it, with Charlie?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, good few years ago now. And is he all right?
Yeah, he's all right. He's doing a bit of radio now. He's doing a couple of podcasts. Yeah, he's enjoying it.
Yeah, good. He's a lovely kid, isn't he? Yeah, he's nice.
Oh, he's a blinder, yeah. He's very passionate.
I want to get him back to EastEnders. I'm gonna have a word with him when I get
back.
Really? Yeah, he's great. He was
great
on the show.
Actor,
yeah, he's good. Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah. Say hello to him, will you?
I'd love to see him back on there.
Yeah, we'll get him back on. We'll get him back on, John. I'll go and have a word with him when I get back.
Oh, Max Bradding's going to sort it out.
That's it.
That's it. Well, listen, John, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, mate. Listen, we've got a couple of questions as well on the Twitter, if you're all right to answer those.
Yeah, cool.
I think you've sort of half answered this, but John Castle says, does the judges' scoring leave you disillusioned with the sport like the rest of us?
No, do you know what? I'm thick-skinned enough to know that deep down I won that fight. I'm not going to let three complete strangers define my career and put me off boxing. I love this sport. I've been involved in this sport 19 years now. I'll keep battling hard to get that world title.
You've got an unbelievable outlook on it, mate, because the people, there's a lot of people that could look totally different at it and get disillusioned and be bitter with it and be pissed off with the sport. But the way your outlook on it is just like, you know what, it's been done, that's it, I'll move forward. I mean, that's a great way of, great attitude.
No, it's not, because at the end of the day, if I keep harping on about it, the people that sympathise with me, they're going to go, you know what, he's strong in it a bit. He needs to do one and just get on with it now. So, listen, Saturday night's been and gone. It weren't the result we wanted, but we know deep down, so we just got to move on. Otherwise, we're going to dwell on the past too much.
You mentioned Tony Sims earlier. What was his reaction? Is it sort of exactly what you're saying, John? The similar sort of thing, right? Just sort of soak it up and crack on.
Yeah, no, I think Tony feels really gutted. I think he feels a bit dug out as well, especially with like coming off the Ted Cheeseman Fitzgerald fight, and then now with me, I just think he feels a bit dug out. And just I think the point he was making is, well, what have I got to tell my fighters to do to win rounds? Why are judges not scoring rounds to him?
He's a great trainer, by the way, Tony Sims. He's been obviously trained Darren Barker as well, and he's got an amazing stable of matchroom fighters down there, but he is an unbelievable tactician. We spoke about this, John, didn't we? Because I said to John, your tactics were spot on. You sat your head on his chest when he threw the counter left hook. You just bent your knees and you didn't give him room to work. And he said that's what him and Tony worked on. But as a tactician, John, I mean, tell us, he's great, isn't he?
John, he just doesn't get the credit he deserves as a trainer, as a man, as a human being. He's more than just a trainer to all of us boys. And I know Darren can confirm that. I mean, would Darren have been a world champion?
Yeah.
Had Tony been on his case through all the bad times in Darren's career and forced him to be in the gym and not just give me space and let him be who he needs to be and just give him that break from boxing, he could have absolutely done Darren's head in and just really deterred him from the sport. But he had similar incidents in his life and just knew when to push and pull Darren and when to give him a leg up. And I think he's just really helped Darren in his career and help him achieve his dream, and I believe he'll do the same for me.
Yeah.
It's true though, isn't it? Because them scorecards, I think it's the same for the fans, John, as well. Like, you see a fight like that and it's scored so widely and so wrong, it puts you off watching the sport. You don't know what you're going to get.
Do you know what? I spoke to John about this. We spoke the other day when I asked him to come on the podcast, and I said, as a fan, as a boxing fan, I'm sitting at home watching it, and I work on most of these fights week in, week out. And I said, I'm getting pissed off with the scores. I'm getting pissed off with how wide some of these scores are when we know who's won the fight, or even if the fight's close, give it a close scoring, because these guys are meant to be professionals in what they do. So how can one judge see it 117, 111? I mean, fucking hell, that's just like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But I think it's happening too regular, John. What's your thoughts?
No, it is massively. And I mean, people have been sending me pictures of the punch stats, and I think I've outlanded him in every round.
Yeah.
For jabs and power punches.
Yeah, so I saw that, John.
Why is that not taken into account? It's getting a bit like amateur boxing. Are they scoring for headshots? Are they scoring for body shots? Are they still counting the shots that are missing? And is it just because he's got a higher punch output?
I mean, I would like to see. I would like to see these judges pulled in front of some sort of board to say, listen, explain yourself.
Well, I think Terry O'Connor should be 117, 111. That's a disgrace, mate.
I think if we're talking about people's futures here, like John was saying, again, John, when we were speaking off the record, we were saying, listen, if John Ryder wins that fight, now he's holding all the belts, and he's got a fight next with Canelo. So effectively, that could have cost him like tens of millions of pounds or millions of pounds anyway.
Well, did you see Kevin Mitchell come up, didn't he? He said, it could have cost set up your family for life.
For life. Well, John was saying the same.
Fair points, isn't it?
It's like...
Yeah, no, that's house is bought and paid for, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
There's no mortgages involved then. You mean you're set for life. But
yeah,
I mean, we're scrutinised for every move we do. If we don't act in an appropriate way, we get brought before the board. If we win or lose a fight, we've got a camera put in our face straight after asking what happened. So, like, even the referees, would it not be good for the referees to get their point across? There's been dodgy decisions in the past where referees have stepped in.
Sure.
I'm sure people would love to have heard Howard Foster's opinion when he stepped in and stopped Groves in the first Froch fight. Like, just let them. Maybe they'd want to do it, maybe they wouldn't. Just let them have their opinion and justify why they did it.
Well, I think it would.
Let the fans understand.
I think it would benefit the sport in general. When you see some of these Scott, not just with yourself, John, with other fights that I've seen recently as well, you see some of the scorecards and you go, how can you justify that scorecard? And I think that people are asking, you know, how can we improve the sport of boxing? I think that's one of the ways, that get the judges in front of a disciplinary board and say, explain yourself.
Yeah, talk me through
it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, let us as boxing fans understand it. Because, you know, I know boxing's subjective scoring. One guy sees one thing, another guy sees another thing. But we're talking about, say, 90% of the people at the arena on Saturday night had John Ryder winning the fight. 90% of the people at home had John Ryder winning the fight. And we see that by the tweets. So, you know, explain why it's so wide. I would get it, Jake, if it was one round one way or one round another way. Because when the bell went, John, by the way, I thought this could go either way. And I thought, actually, the draw was an amazing bet. I thought when it went, I think this could fucking be a draw here. I think I even tweeted, I think this is going to be a draw.
Yeah, but we were speaking to Cole Froch earlier this evening, John, and Cole said it, didn't he? On those scorecards, even if you had knocked Callum Smith down in the last round or the 11th round, on that scorecard, you still would have lost the fight. That's fucking ridiculous.
No, exactly. That's what I think I was going to say. If I knew how to put him down in that 11th round, well, no, not really, because it had been a 10-8 round, and I still probably would have been 2 points down on one of the cards and
that's just not right.
5 on the other.
Yeah, because I think you was 4 points down on two cards and 6 points down on another card. I mean,
so it's like, even
fight?
that one,
what fight are they watching there? That's crazy.
Mad.
You know, because I think you had such a dominant start to the fight. He didn't get into it at all, Smith. He come back a little bit in the middle rounds, but then you had a massive finish as well. So I just can't work it out.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But I think as Spencer said earlier, John, I think you're a huge credit to the sport and your team and your family for taking it so well, so calm. Like even on the night in the ring, you were so calm when it was announced. And you know, you've worked so hard to get to that point. It must be hard to keep your emotions in check. And I think you carried yourself with real dignity there, mate. And hats off to you for that.
No, yeah, it's tough because, you know, like, it don't just affect me, it affects my family and my friends. I mean, they all get down and disheartened by it, but it's what we love, and it's the sport we know and love, and it's just, if we could get away from it, I'm sure we would, but it's got a hold on us somehow.
Yeah.
Sure. Listen, John, just before you go, mate, there's two things I've got to ask you. First one, and this is going to take me beautifully into the second question. So the first one is, how did you get the name, the Gorilla?
That was down to Robin McCracken. I was sparring with a lot of these pros when I was younger, and he said he couldn't believe the strength of me. I was like a baby gorilla.
And that leads us beautifully on to our second question, the question we ask everyone. A peak silverback gorilla versus a peak Mike Tyson. Who wins and how?
Listen, I am the gorilla, so I'm going for a peak silverback gorilla. If Tyson's got any sense, he ain't getting in that cage.
Brilliant, mate.
Let's got another last Twitter question, John, as well. At Tom Richards 82 says, how many beers shall I get in for Christmas Day? Only I will be drinking them. So Tom Richards wants to know how many beers he should get in.
It's got to be a standard 24 on it.
Nice.
Yeah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Oh, mate, it's been brilliant, John. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast just a couple of days after your gallant effort, mate. And shame it never worked out, but we know the Gorilla will come again. We know you'll win a world title, mate. And when you do, we want you back on the pod.
No, lovely. It's great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Happy
God
days,
bless
John.
you, mate.
Right, listen,
thanks
have a
so
good
much,
rest, mate. And we look forward to watching you come back 2020, mate.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks. See you.
All right.
See you soon.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Take
Cheers,
care,
mate.
Take care, mate.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Beautiful. Big thank you to John Ryder for coming on the show. I thought that was great, man.
Such a humble guy. It's unreal. You know what? He, when you get a little kick in the bollocks like that, he just sort of gets himself off, dusts himself off, and takes the pluses from it and says, you know what? Actually, it stood me in good stead because people now appreciate, you know, what I've done for myself. So my stock has risen, and I will go and get another world title shot. Great attitude.
Yeah, but I think you have to have that attitude, otherwise you'd go the other way, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd be like, fuck this, fuck the sport, you know. Scorecards are a joke. It's like he said about, you know, with Tony Sims, you know, it's happened to him a couple of times of recent times, and that must be so demoralising for him as well. And then, of course, then that has a knock-on effect, as John was saying. Well, then Tony's thinking, well, what do I tell my fighters? You know, you go out there, you have an honest fight. You have a great fight, but I can't guarantee you're going to get the cards.
Yeah,
it depends where you fight. Like John saying there, you know, I knew I had to knock him out because I was in Liverpool. I mean, it's just that is the fact of the sport, isn't it? And
it shouldn't be.
You know, it's significant that he said that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, shouldn't be. And
No.
it's a shame that that fighters are actually thinking that now. You know, I'm the away fighter, but listen, we do see away fighters, and they get the decision on razor tight fights. I think this problem with this whole thing was that scoring. That was the problem. It wasn't the fact that Callum Smith won. The problem was the scoring was ridiculous.
If it had been tight scores, and Callum Smith would have won. You know, in many people's eyes, that was the right result.
Yeah.
So you would have walked away and go, "Oh, it was fair enough." I think, of course, the whole issue is that the scorecards were so wide.
Yeah.
They're not. It's like they're not watching the same fight.
Nah.
Now that's the upset, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because then you start questioning, well, why have they marked it so wide? Well, what's going on here then? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just puts you in that mindset of thinking, well why have they fucking done that? You know,
Yeah.
what's the thinking behind it?
Yeah.
And then you start to lose faith in that they're not marking what you're watching.
Yeah.
And as a boxing fan, it just puts you on the back foot.
Well, listen,
doesn't it? It's not what you want to see.
That's what the boxing fans are saying. We want answers. We need answers. How do we get over it? You know, I think that I personally think the best way of dealing with this is if a scorecard is as wide as it is, 117, 111, and the fight was as close as it was,
get him in.
Then say, come on, just explain it.
Well,
and if you can give us a good explanation, then fine.
Well, listen,
but, explain how...
Judges do get struck off occasionally, don't they? And all that. You know, in America and all that, you occasionally get really wide scorecards.
Sure.
You know, judges have been, sort of struck off, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Get them in front of the board and say, well, look,
explain it.
Or sit them down, watch the fucking fight with them.
Yeah, and say,
explain through your scorecard.
What's the 12th round? And go, how did you have that guy winning? How did you have Smith winning that round when Ryder's clearly won it?
Yeah.
Because that's your job. You know, you're talking about people's futures, people's, changing lives. So you've got to explain it at least. And I think that's all it is. It's not the fact of who won the fight, it's the scoring that stunk in that fight. And it sort of tarnished a great fight, if you're honest. It was a great fight. John Ryder, boxed amazingly well. Callum Smith never boxed to the best of his ability for me. But it was ruined by the scoring for me because it pissed me off watching it at home.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think, again, John has got a great attitude, isn't he, in terms of dealing with it and like moving forward. And fucking hats off to him. And I think with that kind of attitude and that sort of work ethic, well, then that's it. You suck it up, come again. And as we've seen with John in the past, when it looks like he might have reached the end of a road, he's come back. He's worked hard. He's got his head down. He's built himself back into contention for this fight in particular. And well deserved. And I've got no doubt with that mindset, it'll come again.
Absolutely. He's done it right from the day he started boxing, as an amateur and as a pro. He's been knocked down, he's got back up and he's got on, and it's got him to where he's got to. It proves that hard work, dedication, determination, puts you in those places. And no one deserves it more than John Ryder. Lovely guy.
Cool. Listen, quite a bit of boxing coming up this Saturday, obviously before the big fight with Anthony Joshua, Ruiz, Saturday week, but this weekend, Saturday, we've got Monte Carlo. They do that old one in the casino.
Yeah, a bit of a weird atmosphere out there, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it? Got Alexander Besputin versus Radzad Butuav for the WBA World Welterweight title. And, of course, we've got Hughie Fury versus Pavel Sauer on the undercard. We spoke to Peter Fury, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? Oh, that was last week, in fact.
Last week, yeah.
Wow, it's gone quick, isn't it?
I know.
And I'll be interested to see sort of what changes Hughie has made.
Well, yeah.
Because Peter's sort of, he seems to think he's made drastic changes.
He said that he's implemented some new things, and we're going to see that. We need to see that, because I think that, Peter Fury, for me, has just missed that vital ingredient to get over that final hurdle. If Peter can install that, and he knows what he's got to install into him, if he can do that, he says that he can, and let's see if that happens in Monte Carlo.
Over in Las Vegas, we got Carl Frampton versus Tyler McCreary. Also got Oscar Valdez versus Gutierrez. That would be a good fight.
Yeah, great.
But Carl Frampton, obviously had that hand injury, didn't he? You remember that freak hand injury in the fucking hotel?
Yeah.
So he's had a bit of time out, so it'd be good to see him back. And apparently, it's rumored he's going to get a world title fight in the first quarter of next year. That's the rumour going forward. So, yeah, I think Carl is always in the gym, and he's always keeping fit.
Great fighter.
Great fighter. Isn't
Credit to the sport, Wolverhampton, and love to see him go on and win another world title. And it's a big fight for him on Saturday night. He needs to win. He needs to perform. Needs to look good. And I think he will. I think that Jamie Moore's done a great job with him. They've been out there with plenty of time to go. And yeah, apparently rumours are that he's looking great in the gym.
Happy days. And if you're in Birmingham this Saturday night, get yourself to the arena, Birmingham Arena, for Zolani Tete versus Casemiro for the WBO World Bantamweight title. Tete, always value for money.
Yeah.
Don't be late getting to your seat because it might not go that far. Tete is fucking very heavy-handed and great fighter. So yeah, what a privilege that will be to be at that arena. So if you're in Birmingham, get yourself down there because that'd be a great night.
Yeah, it will. We will.
Good. Premier Punt. They got another special going on.
Oh, do you know what? They keep throwing them out there, man. These guys just want to keep giving away money. It's ridiculous.
So we've got a free £5 bet, but then they got another one. So if you bet £10 and you put £10 on the bonus code section, if you write out £10, TENPOUND, £10 in the bonus code section, as soon as you've made your £10 bet, so you put on a £10 bet, when it's all settled, they'll give you a free £10 bet.
So they're doubling up your money.
Shit!
So you go to the code section, put a £10 in and write £10.
All one word, no spaces.
£10, one word.
TENPOUND, £10. Yeah?
And you're going to get a free £10
When you've done
bet.
your £10, once it's all settled up and all that, they'll give you another tenner.
So that's like a £20 bet you can have on a Joshua
fight
instead of a tenner bet.
Once you get your fiver for registering, put pound for pound in for that.
That's it.
Pound for pound, POUND, FORPOUND, all one word. Pound get your free £5 bet.
Free
then put your £10 bet on, then you get another £10 bet. Fuck it, no one giving away money. Shit.
Wow.
That's good, isn't it?
It's really good.
I'm going to get on it.
Yeah, Premier Punt, man. That's the way to go.
Premier Punt. So listen, we'll speak to you next week, Spencer.
Yes, can't wait for that, mate. And I'm hoping to be grabbing someone. I'll get someone. You know what I'm like.
That's your phone.
What's that?
That's all right.
Fucking hell. Did you throw something? I thought you threw something.
No, just threw it. I think it was ringing on silent. And it just
is that what happened?
Fell down. Yeah,
okay.
It's not smashed.
Anyway.
You're going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia. I'll be grabbing some great guests out there and I'll be calling, or you'll be calling me up, and I'll have someone on the end of the line.
Listen, if you fucking get Ruiz, mate,
I'm on it, mate.
That'd be awesome.
I'm on it. That's my mission.
Let's get Ruiz.
Let's do it. This is my mission. My mission for this week, mate,
Ruiz.
is to get Ruiz on the phone with you, and we'll go from there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Pound for Pound is a Boxing with the Stars limited production, sponsored by Premier Punt, created by Ross Siegel, produced by Spencer Oliver, Jake Wood, Ross Siegel and Alex Siegel, music by Keith Atack, graphics by Lolly Edwards. All the music on this podcast is written by Mr. Ricardo De Wildo. This podcast is hosted by Acast and edited by Zach Brown. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Pound Podcast. I think that's it. We're all done, haven't we?
Yeah, it was good. Another great app, man. Could be the best one yet.
Best one yet! See you next week.